Hello, today we are going to solve elapsed time word problems. This is going to be a tricky lesson, but I'm going to teach you one way that will always work, and it should be pretty doable as long as you do the steps. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Dora and her brother Kyle spent 1 hour and 35 minutes doing yard work. Then they stopped for lunch at 1:20 p.m. At what time did they start doing yard work? So the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out if it was them starting at 1:20 or ending at 1:20. It says right here the word stopped. That tells me that is the end. So I'm going to draw a line, and at the very end of my line, I'm going to put 1:20. If it said start at 1:20, I would have put 1:20 at the start of my line, but it said stopped, so it goes at the very end. Now I need to figure out how much I'm going to go backwards to figure out what time they started, because we do not know that. That's the one we're looking for. So I'm going to reread it to find the time. Dora and her brother Kyle spent 1 hour and 35 minutes. That's the time I'm going to use. Now I'm going to do what I call jumps. It's where I go from 1:20 and I jump backwards. Then in the jump, I'm going to put how much time I went backwards. I like to use doable numbers. So I'm going to use the number 1 hour for this because that's just a very big jump. But at the same time, I'm not really having to count by ones. I'm counting by a big number. So 1:20, and I go backwards 1 hour. If you look at your clock, 1 hour backwards from 1:20 is 12. And then the minute hand stayed the same, 20. Now I have 1 hour done. I need 35 more minutes. I can jump by fives, I can jump by tens, I can jump by half an hour, but I cannot jump by 40 minutes because that's past the time. I like to jump by tens. So I'm going to go backward by 10. 10, subtract. I don't touch my hour hand. I only do my minute hand right now. So 10 minus the 20 gives me 12. 10. I want to write that down because I don't want to forget these numbers. Now, I'm not done. I need to go back another 10. That gives me 12 o'clock. And that's 10:20. I still need to go back. I'm going to go back another 10. That is now where I touch my hour hand because I don't have any minutes left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back an hour. That gives me 11. And if you remember from the previous lesson, in every hour, there are 60 minutes. So I'm going to go 60, and I'm going to go back by 10. That gives me 50. I now have 11:50. Well, 10, 20, 30. I need 35. So now I need to go back by 5. I have some minutes here, so I'm going to do 5 minutes, subtract the 50. I did not touch my hour. 5 subtract 50 is 45. Let's make sure I did all of the time. I have 1 hour, good. 35, so 5 or 10, 20, 30, 35. Good there. So what time did they start doing yard work? They started right here, that's the start, at 11:45. So what I did here is, one, I found whether they started or stopped. Then I found how much time I was going to make my jumps. The next step was to make those jumps. And the very last thing I did was find the answer. So let's go ahead and do those steps with this problem. Ben started riding his bike at 10:05 a.m. He stopped 23 minutes later when his friend Robbie asked him to play kickball. At what time did Ben stop riding his bike? I want you to make your line and put 10:05 either at the start or the end, whichever way it goes. Let's see how you did. Here's my line. And now I need to figure out if 10:05 goes at the start or the end. Ben started. Oh, that means it goes at the start of my line. I hope this is what you have. If not, fix it now, please. That's step one. The second step is to figure out how much time I'm going to be jumping. Well, he stopped 23 minutes later. That's the time. Let's go ahead and make those jumps using that time now. Go ahead. Let's see how you did. I have 10:05, and I like to jump by smaller numbers, so I'm going to go by tens. 10, 20, and I need 23, so I'm going to have to go by 1. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you did it like this, that is fine, but we don't have any numbers down here, so I still can't answer it yet. I need to get the numbers on the bottom. So 10:05 plus 10 minutes, because I'm going forward, is 10:15. Then I add another 10 minutes, because I'm still going forward. That one is 10:25. Now I add my 1 minutes, so 10:25, 10:26, 10:27, 10:28. Okay, my number line is done. My jumps have been done for my elapsed time, and I need to know when he stopped. So he stopped at 10:28. Here's another one. Go ahead and give this one a try start to finish. All right, let's see how you did. Math class lasts 40 minutes. So that's how many jumps I'm going to make, 40 minutes. If class starts, oh, right there it says start, so I know that when I make my line, 9:55 is at the start of it. And I want to know when it ends, so I want to know this down here. Well, we can do that. I'm going to jump by 10. 9:55 plus 10 minutes is, well, 55 plus 10 minutes is 65. But I know that 60 minutes in 1 hour, so I actually go from 9:55 to 10:05. Now I can jump another 10. That gets me to 10. 10 minutes plus 5 minutes is 15. Well, 10:20, still not there yet. Need to jump another 10. 10 plus 15 is going to be 10, 25, 10, 20, 30, and 40. I am done now once I get this number. 10 plus 25 gives me 10:35. My answer for this problem is 10:35. Here's another one. Go ahead and give it a try. All right, let's see how you did. Hannah rode her bike for 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's the time I'm going to use to jump. She got a flat tire at 2:30 p.m. What time did Hannah start riding her bike? Well, it does not say stopped, but it does say start right here. So I know that my number line, I want to know this down here, the start, and this right here is the end. If you did not do it like this, please go ahead and start doing it with me, because we are going to be going backwards. All right, I'm going to go backwards by my 1 hour right here. I'm not going to touch the minute hand. I'm going to touch my hour hand. Well, 1 hour subtract, because I'm going backwards, 2 means this is 1. Now I can do my 15 minutes. I can go by 10. I don't need to touch my hour hand because I have minutes. 30 minus 10 is 20. Well, 10 and I need to get to 15, just 5 more. Don't touch my hour hand, just my minute. 20 minus 5 is 15. My answer, because I didn't even need to use the whole line, is 1:15. She started at 1:15. This one was a little different than the previous one, but I hope you got it. Go ahead and take the time now to do the quiz. Thank you.